yeah, so we have some introductions, data integration. So these are the features we have divided. For the ETL purpose, I'll definitely suggest these data ingestions, data modeling. These are basically where you are designing your data, where you are validating your data for the ETL process. So these initial topics definitely we are going to discuss with the modeling of data, how we are structuring our data, right? And then like Vishan, your features, like how you are creating your identity services, like your namespaces, and maybe your data should be unique and all. After that, those features will come into the picture. And then the segmentation service is basically one of the major or important service of yours AEP, that where you are creating the segmentation. Segmentations basically, if it already heard, Vishan knows about the segments, like filters kind of thing.
Correct.
So there, you guys are like, one is don't know anything about the Adobe terminologies, one is already know. So I'll go with the basic one. Okay, Vishan. So because
Yeah.
he doesn't know about the terminologies.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how I'm going to try. Yeah, then the activation. So this is like a little bit longer. AEP has a lot of topics which we definitely takes time to complete. I'll try my best to complete this 1.5 week, because this is the time slot I got from the Rohita. Most probably we'll try to complete 2 to 3 hours within a day, or we can also cover any day, any time within the late night or the weekend. It's up to you how you want, because I can manage. So this is up to you guys how you want to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm. So before going into AEP, like Adobe Experience Platform, we'll definitely gonna discuss what is AEP and why we call it as a RTCDP, right? Basically, when you comes to any platform, you always ask, do you aware of RTCDP? Because RTCDP is kind of a structure. It's a model where provides you a different kind of functionalities. Then there are a lot of RTCDPs into the market. One which is basically major one, which is everyone is knows about, that is AEP, Adobe Experience Platform, is one of the RTCDP. RTCDP means real time customer data platform. Okay. Other are into the picture, like Salesforce. Salesforce CDP is also one of the picture, but majorly people are more into the Adobe Experience Platform. But it's not like that 100% of the people are, or the clients are using RTC, because it's depend on the requirement. Some of the features are available in AEP, some of are available in CDP. Some of, if you are working with the finance companies or any data securities and all of that, then people are generally using Salesforce CDP. So this is depend on the requirement, how you need to choose it. When you are working on e-commerce platforms or healthcare and other any mobile SDKs or mobile data, then AAP comes into the picture when you are working on these kind of platforms. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the one by one the PPTs. Oh, where's the review? Just okay. So as I told you that RTCDP stands for the real-time customer data platform. These 5 words itself gives you the understanding. Real-time means whenever you are working on e-commerce, mobile, anything, you are generating a real-time data, right? And you want to process that real-time data within a time zone, within a seconds, within a minute. You don't want to make any latency between the data, right? So that is why we call as a real time, because this real time platforms help us to get the real data from through the sources. It's very quick and you will get a data within a seconds and within a minute if there is a bulk of data. Why we call as a customer data platform? Because it gives us the customer data. Majorly we want to tackle always the customer. It's a real-time customer data platform. That means platform basically it's kind of a platform where you have designed to collect your data from different sources. Different sources can be your S3 buckets, your batch datas, your temporary Excels, your different JSON formats. Data can be in any form, whether it's online, whether it's your offline, anything. You are going to any, suppose you are going to Decathlon, there you are capturing offline data of your customers. And same thing you are going on any online websites of Decathlon, you are capturing your data. So it's offline, online, any kind of data you can capture through real-time customer data platform. Then the term is unify. Unify means suppose you have offline and online both data and you want to create a one profile of the customer that this is the person and these are the transactions he has done online and offline. That means unify a single profile that gives you the 360 view of your customer. That we call as a unified profile or unifying. We are unifying the data, right? Then third terminal is activate the customer's data into real time to deliver the personal experience across the various channels. And that terms means activate means you are activating, you are passing your data to the different destinations so that you can get the insightful information from that particularly profile data. Okay, let me give you the understanding on that. Uh, Suppose you have decathlon online and offline data. You combined both data. You generated one ID that is called as a unified ID or unified. You have done the profile. Now a single row can give you the understanding of the person that he has done some of the transaction online and offline. That's it. Now you are going to send or activate those particular data to a particular destination. That means you want to sending that data to um, one of another tool where you are just about to email them about the discounts. Okay, so you want to do some kind of campaigning on this data, so then you need to pass that data to different destinations so that the campaigns should get the real time data and the campaign should execute in the real time. Suppose you are running a Christmas sale on Decathlon and you want to real time data, right? Okay. In evening, this person has visited our store and they were looking this kind of clothes, but they didn't purchase or something like that, and you just pass those data to different campaigns so that they can send some discount coupons through email, through mobile SMS, or anything, any medium they can use it, so that everything should happen in the real time so that they can also help with the discount. Okay, and they also get the real time data. So this is the whole concept behind the structuring of real time customer data. Everything should happen in the real time, and source taking up data from sources and giving the data from the destination, this kind of structure has been created in the real time. This is what you are going to see in the AEP. AEP has all of these features. I'm not talking about the Salesforce CDP or other CDP because they have different structure, but the majorly I'm talking about the AEP because this is about the training of AEP. I hope you got the understanding of these three words:
Uh,
select,
yes,
unify, and
yes, Adit.
activate. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the key features of RDB. You can just key features you can say, or you can also going to see these kind of features in AEP when we see, because RTCDP is nothing, it's just a concept or it's just a platform structuring. They have done it. Data collection integration, I told you data collection can be happen from any channel, offline, social media, CRM tools, mobile apps, websites, healthcare websites, anything, or even if you are understanding the payloads, the JSON payloads and all, that is also possible. You can just CSV files, you can upload and get it the data. Data collection happen from any of the sources. This is one of the feature. Real-time processing, you can process your data in the real time. Latency might be can have of 1 minute, 2 minute, or if it is a million or billion bulk of data is coming up from any bucket, that can takes up to 10 minutes. That's it. I have never seen any latency because there is another terminology coming up from the last 1 year. I've seen there is a edge network. I think someone is knows edge network is one of the way to passing the data directly from website to AEP.
Yeah.
But
You
Yeah,
yeah,
can
just
directly
heard
create a
about it.
create a
yeah,
connection with the destinations.
yeah. So you can have that as well, but that is also the one of the strongest real-time processing way you can do it on the website. Okay. Then there's identity resolution. So identity resolution or identity stitching. So basically there is a multiple multiple sources. You are taking up the data from multiple sources like other offline, online batch, and you definitely want to make it as a one data, right? So that we call as a identity resolution or identity stitching. That means you want to create a identification of a particular customer who have done a lot of transactions in different to different sources. So it says that RTCDP uses advanced technology to identify, definitely identification, to merge the customer data from multiple touch points to create a single unified profile of the customer. That is a single profile so that you can get understanding of all of these transactions in one place. So that helps AP. Segmentation basically you are creating or doing some kind of filtrations dynamically based on your data. Suppose I don't want to see the person's offline data. I'm only curious about the online transaction the person has done. So these kind of segmentations, filtrations, or I'm like you just do applying your logical aspects over the segmentation part. You want to logically see your data that this is the requirement of the client that they only want to see this kind of data. So that part comes under a segmentation. Here you need to put your logical skills. Okay, then you need to create your rules and then you just need to put it filtrations. Okay, this is how my data looks at the final filtration. So that kind of things you have to be done in the segmentation. Personalizations and actives, yeah, this is what I already told you. Like uh, personalization activation means you are passing the state those data to your destinations can be your social media, your email marketing spaces, and like Google Ads, Facebook, Meta. These are the destinations. Or suppose you are passing those data to analytics or somewhere other aspects for the report creations and all. So that is also the part. Yeah, the analytics and insights. That is also possible if somebody is working on CGLA, customer journey analytics. So they can also have the appearance of those audiences to CGA so that they can also have a visualization of that tool. So that is also the possible. Any question till now for this? Anything you want to discuss
No, for the
or
moment,
any
no.
Uh,
clarification?
I have one
Hmm.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so for this CDP, I understood how we're going to bring the data and how much time, basically latency it takes. That is okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because going further, I have to work upon CGA as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we say CGA, by definition, I can understand it's the user's journey that we are going to analyze through CGA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And similarly, what are the touch points that user has done on the business faces like website, social medias, POS systems, or offline data or CRMs? So those all are again the same thing which we are going to utilize into the CGA.
Yeah, CGA hold it. I mean, in CGA, you don't have much to do. CGA is
Mhm.
all about reporting purpose. You don't are not going to do anything with the data.
Okay.
It's just AP will going to do everything for you. You are just passing those fully fledged, everything covered data to CGA so that in reports you can showcase. Just like in analytics,
Okay.
we do a lot of
Hmm.
things, right? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
EVARs, props, and all, but CG doesn't have all of these things. It's very simple to execute your reports on CG because every part is done by AAP itself.
Okay. Okay. So,
Mhm.
so like suppose if my website has Adobe Analytics where uh, everything EVAR and props are defined for page name, page URL, and everything. So
Mhm.
again, I have to define the same thing into
No,
CG
no,
as
no.
well.
No. CJ is like you just passing those attributes name like
Okay.
page type and all. You're
Mhm.
not going to set up into evars and props. And
Okay.
after passing all of these things, you can just have your dimensions and metrics up to your requirement. Okay, I want page to make as a metric, you can make it, or I want to make it as a dimension, you can do it. So it's a vice versa. It's fully on you how you want
Mhm.
to create your metrics and dimensions.
Okay. The
It's
control
not
would be in
dependent on
my hand.
others. Your control will be in, yeah, yeah.
How I want to mold the data. It's on me.
Hmm.
Okay. 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 Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so benefits, I already convey the same thing. The benefits basically you are getting a real-time personalization of your customers. You are able to target your markets, right? Market performance will be definitely increased when whether you are able to uh, having suppose you're running your campaigns on your products and Amazon is running some of the campaigns on your Diwali campaigns or anything, and you are getting giving them the real time data, definitely it enhance your market performance. So these are the benefits, right? And you also able to fulfill the integrity of your customer, that they are able to fulfill them their needs. You are able to target the customer as well. So there will be a growth in your sites or your markets and everything. So that is also helpful, right? And the other way, you are able to consolidate the whole data which is coming out different channels at one place. Definitely gives you the customer proper view. Before that, it was very difficult. You are storing your data warehouses, your data at different places, and you are running different pipelines to getting the data, and everything. It was very difficult, right? But here now it's very helpful. Use cases, I already told you, like e-commerce platforms, financial services, if you're working with the finance. So this kind of things you can do. Even here, like e-commerce, retails, hospitality. Apart from this, there is other way also you can do it. Like I have seen for the AEP, like people are using AEP. There is a one way. Uh, you already know, like Vishan, like people are uh, removing this whole traditional way of doing like rules and
Hmm,
rules, writing the rules and all. They are using the AAP as a web SDK part and passing their one single report to analytics.
right.
Previously, we are taking up a lot of reports creation for every location or everything, but now they are just creating one report. ACDL is into the picture there, which
Hmm.
is
Uh,
right the data layer
I think
concept.
that's
So,
called global report where everything is.
yeah.
Yes.
So people are start doing as a transition from this traditional way to AAP pathing and all. So yeah, this is one I have seen. This is another use case you can have it of if you are already in the Adobe world, so you can use that way. Okay. Challenges I already conveyed. Like challenges, basically the first thing, the storage of the data. You always need to store your data at different places, warehouses, S3 buckets. If you have offline data, you need to offline data stored in the Excels, and you're keeping into the notebooks and everything, right? This was into the not into the picture. But now it's make it easy for you. You can have your data directly by connecting your AAP to different tools. Sorry. AAP also has the sources, like you want to connect your Adobe Analytics, you can do it. You want to connect your um, S3 buckets, you have the feasibility. You can also connect your Azure data bucket. So in sources, when I'll show you, in sources, you will be able to see a lot of connectors over there. So that connectors helps you to connect your databases, your other buckets and everything. You need to add your credentials, you need to add your URLs and everything, like whatever is required to connect a database and everything. You can have your things over there, and you are able to connect. And there is one way. The difficulty was also in databases, you always have your data like rows and columns, right? Like your what we call as a, yeah, rows and columns, the primary keys and
Hmm.
foreign keys concept, right?
Yeah.
So the people were very curious, like how we are going to pass this rows and columns or these tables and all everything to AEP. But the best part is how Adobe has structured the AEP. AEP can have any kind of data. They only just simply refer that you always need to have your data into JSON format. So JSON format is one of the major format that everyone can understand. If you know a like if you're running your APIs through Postman and everything, JSON format is one of the format which can anybody can understand. Key value pair easily to able to understand. So
Correct. Yeah.
in between, always if you're getting a data from your databases, they convert to JSON. If it is possible to convert, they convert it and then pass to AAP. If it is not able to convert, they always say, okay, we don't have. But I've never seen like if AAP gives the error like we are not able to convert, because AAP has only those connectors which can they easily convert. if they don't have, then they have one other API, which is we call it the HTTP API. That API helps you to give the data through Postman API, so that there you definitely need to convert the JSON format. So, but yeah, whatever the tools are available in the market, buckets or storages or warehouses, they always have all those connectors. So you don't need to worry about like how it is going to be processed. Okay, so yeah, real-time capabilities. Before that, RTCDP, the real-time capability was not available. People were not able to do the fragments or segmentations over the data within the flow. Now, when you are suppose you are passing your data to AP, and in suppose you don't want to see the null data, right? You understand the null data. So you want to eliminate those rows which have the null identities or primary keys. You can definitely do that within the AEP. Before storing the data into the AEP, you can easily remove those null data from your the backend data. So that is also the possibility, right? You can also personalizations of data. You can easily personalize your data, like we want, what we want, and good insights you can capture everything that is possible. And the one thing, it can have the large volume of data. I have seen millions and trillions of data is coming up in 15-20 minutes in AEP, because it has that storage. It just depend on the Adobe licensing. You need to take the license properly, or definitely your organization will going to take it, the primary, standard, and premium, and all these kind of, that gives you the capacity of storage of data. So these things will become. Yeah. Any question? Anything you want to discuss at this point?
So
No.
basically, Aditi, you are saying that we will get from different sources the data. It is collected directly in this CDP tool. Uh,
CDP's API, right? Yes.
yeah.
They,
Okay. Okay.
it's just like which example should I give you? Database, because I think you can only understand the database example very
Yes. Yes.
much.
Yes. Basic.
Yeah. So database has a lot of connections, right? Or like you need to, like some kind of connections, database name and all, everything you need to add, right? So the same thing in AAP, when you connect your database, they will provide you the database name, your database, like if you're 10 Oracle G, or if you are using that one. So these kind of information it will ask you. You need to make a connection with it. Then
Mm-hmm.
it will start triggering your data within like uh, I think 10 to 15 minutes. And there, when you able to see your data, you definitely able to see your data, what rows, what columns are coming on. There is a preview option over there, and from there you want to set up, like I want to see this format in CSV, I want to format in the payloads, I on JSON. So I think 4 I think max data formats are available. You need to fix it the things on the phone. But I've seen database data comes very easily. There is no issue. So yeah, till now in 6 years, I have never seen a data formatting issue, because they are always do they have the feasibility of doing that. So no worries with that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
suppose you want to remove some kind of primary, or I want to remove some particular ECID. So you are not aware of ECID. So if you want to use
Mm-hmm.
any foreign key or primary key, you want to remove it from your data, that everything is possible in the AEP.
Okay.
There is a
Okay.
features where you can just manipulate your data, you can just clear your data, everything you can do it. Even within the flow, you can do it. Or when your data is stored in Adobe or Experience Platform databases, it's stored, and after that you want to do it, that is also possible. So there's a lot of features and a lot of ways you can just clear your data up to your requirement.
Got it. Got it, Aditi.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing I just here,
Uh-huh.
because we were on the same page, you were mentioning the primary key and foreign keys.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so while bringing the data from different sources into the CDP, basically
Mm-hmm.
from the Adobe recommendation point, what foreign key and primary key we usually takes?
So if your data is coming of e-commerce platform, then you always aware like ECID is one of the way you can identify your customers. But if apart from e-commerce, you are taking up our data from offline and other sources, then definitely you can take as an emails, or not emails. You can just have to the hashed emails you need to convert, because emails you cannot store directly with the
Correct. PI
person's name
level
and all.
information. Yeah.
Yeah. So the hashed one or phone numbers, or otherwise if it is data from coming of S3 or CRM tools, right? Then you can have their own CRM IDs and their Salesforce IDs, so that you can later on you can create the one-to-one mapping or one-to-many mapping kind of conditions in the setting of the data. During the setting of data, you can create, okay, I want my ECID should be my primary key for one table. One here the table structure is not here. Here we call as a schemas.
Correct.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
schema. So one schema has ECID as my primary key,
Hmm.
and the other table, which is the data coming up, or schema which is coming up from CRM, right? Then
Hmm.
CRM ID is my one of the primary key for the another table. I want these two datas combined together and make it as a one profile of the customer. Then you are going to map ECID and CRM ID as the foreign primary key concept. This is how you need to do within the AP. That is possible.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
This is how you can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I already told you about Adobe. You already aware like how Adobe is helpful for as a real-time CDP. The strength is definitely the personalizations across the multiple touch points, right? And the integrations. And the best part of Adobe that you can pass the Adobe AEP data to different Adobe tools, right?
Right.
So CJ, AJO, and what else, like if you
Target.
want to go targets, you can easily, you can just send those audiences to the targets.
Hmm.
This is best, like Adobe data can work with any of the Adobe tools, so right. But if you
Yep.
want to send your data to third parties, that is also possible within AP. Not AP, there is another ways of event forwarding. So
Correct.
event forwarding
Yes.
is the way you can just have in your, so you can also pass the data out of Adobe world as well to like Google or other.
Facebook
if
Meta.
if yeah, so if no, if in destination, there's in destination you have the possibilities to pass the Google or Meta and social media. This is possible. But apart from this, because destinations are very very limited, if you want to send apart from these, then the only way is the event forwarding, which is available under the launch, under launch also it is available, and within AP
Yes.
is also available,
Okay.
right? Mhm. Okay, so this is the AEP, right? We'll talk about the major things about today. So AEP looks like this. You definitely need your Adobe account or your organizational account and anything, so that you can get the access on AEP. The very first thing, AEP don't provide you individual licensing. It will cost you around more than in lakhs, right? So you cannot have, or I can also not purchase it,
Right.
right? So that is why the one of the major reason people are looking into the trainings and all, because people cannot learn by themselves, right? And apart from this, AP's features, like you can see all of these features is depend upon their license. If it is premium standard, I think 10 to 12 licensing for their standard one, or admin control. So you can see features on the basis of that. I have the middle one, which is okay for the developer or any architect level. So this is possible. The other premium and other, you can say the high standard licensing will have the feasibility to delete the data, or you can just creation of your SQL procedures and all that kind of accessibility. But that is always on the architect level. People are more into very deep down into this. But if you're working as a developer or any ETL person, that's fine for all of these features, right? So we have a lot of features. So I hope we will be able to cover all of these. Okay, so let's talk about the very basic one, which is source. We'll go by one, but the very first thing, the source, the entry point from where the data is into your AP tool. Source and destination. Destination is the way where you are passing your data to. your different time zones. Today we'll talk about the sources only. Yeah, and the one thing, this always works very slow. You cannot expect to always work like 1 1 1. It's always take time to get open. Okay. So we have the catalog, state of rows, accounts, keepers, and all. I'll open the catalog one. So catalog is the way, in launch as well, the catalog from where you are getting up your things, where every data is available.
Yeah,
What is
like
in the
extensions.
between? Just, yeah, extension. Now here the extension is not the way. So this
Okay.
is the catalog, which is I was talking about. You will have all your connections, right? So
Hmm.
initially the all Adobe applications, Adobe Analytics, you want to attach both the data so you can have it. So if you try to set up here, you will be able to put here your reports, names and everything and all of these. See, it's a bit slow. And we cannot say it's a network issue because this is the issue with the AEP tool itself, whether you're working on a client issue or your any testing issues or sorry, testing sandboxes, it always take time to be triggered. So report suites I have. So suppose you have your sandbox, same in your analytics, right? Same sandbox you are working in analytics and same
Hmm.
sandbox you are using in AEP. Then whatever the your reports were there, you can have all the reports here. You just need to select here. The one first drawback of this UI, you don't have the search button here. Still not implemented in AEP yet, so you cannot search your Adobe report name and you can just select it. You need to go one by one and you need to select your. So I'm also telling you the drawbacks of the UI, so that you're aware of. Okay. So suppose you are selecting your first any mobile data. Next step is always your mapping. Mapping is like your report has, I don't know, like Shiva, you able to understand this, but I think Vishan can understand. I'll also take the database example as well, but this is for Vishan you. So you have your reports, everything is there, attributes and everything.
Hmm.
Now either by default it will create a schema for you by
Hmm.
understanding because it has the AI and machine learning understanding AAP has. So it will understand automatically and create a schema for you. Or
Hmm.
you have a custom option. You can create your own schemas by suppose you are in the system, right? And you created your schema. You already created your schema.
Hmm.
You created your page titles, page name, website name, everything. You just created your own. Now you want to map one attribute which is coming up from the analytics and AP. You can just select your schema here and the next step, data for details, you just need to map it one by one, one by one. Or
Okay.
it will create for you automatically. That's it. I am not creating right now any default schema into the system and I don't have the right any schema here, but this is how you can do it for your analytics data to pass to AP. I hope you got it.
Yeah, 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 got it.
Yeah, let's go back to the sources. So yeah, so we have Adobe's applications, campaign, data collection is your launch, right?
Hmm.
So you want to launch your, so this is how Adobe's Marketo, if you're aware of it. Now let's talk about the Google Ads. Google Ads, same, you need your credentials, IDs and everything, and data will start coming up from your Google Ads. I don't have these credentials. That's just why I said you cannot create your own data and things because you don't have the accounts of everything, right? So that is the one thing. So client customer ID, login ID. So these, when you work with your clients, right, and they have Google as accounts, they will provide you all of this. There's no need to worry about like who will going to provide it. So everything will come up from there. Their secret ID, their client ID, their refreshing token, developer token, login, everything they will provide you. You just need to put it in this and there the data will start set flow. Suppose you have fill of these things, your connection will be created. Now the data you need to select. Suppose you log into your Google Ads account, and now you are able to see the whatever the data is available in the Google Ads, you are able to see. You can select your data. Data flow step means you are checking the attributes how you want to know. Then comes to the mapping. Mapping basically one to one. Suppose I want page title should comes in my schema page title of e-commerce. So this is how the mapping should be, one to one. You need to set up, right? You are taking up the source data and setting up into the schemas of your AEP. Okay, I'll definitely going to show you one flow of any of, because I need to create a data for you. So I'll try to create a data so that I can show you. Right now I'm just giving you the understanding of these things. Later on sessions will create a one flow as well, or I'll show you any existing one so that you can also get an idea, because right now I don't have Google Ads accounts credential. Might be I can have analytics or other, like, okay, these are the other uh, analytics which is not related to Adobe. So you can have, these are the cloud storage like S3 buckets, so, and Azure blob storage and all. So whatever you are thinking, you can get away the CRM tools, cloud storages, or databases. These are the Azure Data Explorer or your AWS data. So if you are working on databases, ETL basically purpose. So your Spark is there, so you can just have your connections here. Cloud, Google BigQuery, HV Greenplum. So if you're aware of this IBM DB, I'm aware of it, IMDB. MySQL, I'm aware. MySQL servers, Oracle DB. Suppose if you have worked on Oracle DB, definitely you need some connection like account name, descriptions, connecting string. These will get from you from the database. If you open a database link, let's say in the left panel, which generally comes, the database have their every information. So you just need to copy paste and will showcase you connect to sources. After connecting to a sources, you will be able to see the data. Data means your tables, from which table you want to take out the data. So this is easy. Then the things will be easy for you. You just need to select your data. Mapping will be, you need to do one-to-one mapping of your attributes, right? So you want to pass your database first name into the first name of your AEP. So I'm telling you like how you want to map.
Yes, yes, Anu.
I'll definitely showcase you the things, but the thing like I need some time to create some data for you,
Yeah,
or I just
for
need
sure.
to,
That would be also
because it
helpful.
will be feasible for you to get a like a visualized of your data, like how it will work.
Yes.
Yeah, CRM tools, Salesforce, and all of these are available. Okay, e-commerce. Okay, so yeah, this is the local. You have any data says a local file upload, so you can also do it from your system as well if it is offline data. Right, so it will also possible. There's one thing, payments are also possible. You can get the transactions payments. Yeah, so now the thing is coming up. So in AEP we have two kind of datas. One is your batch data, or you can also take the notes because I'm not referring any PPT right now. So yeah, you can also take the notes. So in AEP overall we have two kind of datas. One is batch data and another is a streaming data. Batch data means your data is coming up into the batches. Batches means in 24 hours, in 16 hours. It's like it's a non-real time data. It's a
By
batch data.
automated,
Sorry,
kind of a automated type, like
not automated. It's like a fixed one. Like, okay, suppose if somebody is working on your website and they are capturing some PDF as a data source. So they have schedule. Okay, batch data will come after every
schedule
Basically, it's
24
wise.
the
hours. Yeah.
triggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fixed one. It's not a real time. It's a storage
Mm.
stored data. Now, second is streaming data. Streaming data means your real time data. It's like ongoing, like every 1 hour, it's updating the AAP database. So whatever activities happen in 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever, like it's depend on your scheduling time. Like, okay, I want e-commerce platform data after every 1 hour. So it will like streaming. You are doing the streaming of your data, right? It's streaming. Batch data, you can also schedule it, but the batch data is like in S3 bucket. Suppose in S3 bucket, if somebody is storing the files, right? Stored files or there, or it's fixed, like nobody's going to update it or nobody's going to delete it. It's just a fixed. Suppose you are doing some temporary dev data manipulation of your data. So you cannot check on the real-time data, because real-time might be data comes 1 or 2 or 100. So you can have your batch files. Batch files have 100 records. So you can just do your batch manipulation on the data and you see, okay, this is fine for us. Data is clear. Data is perfectly fine for us. Now you can start your streaming data. We are okay with this batch data. So you have tested and tried. Now you can ask, okay, you can start the streaming of your data. So this is how it is, like stream and batch data. And there is one data mode. This is the edge network data or edge data, which is coming up from the web SDK. Web SDK also needs to connect to HTTP API. So we only have one way to have a streaming data. Your real-time data is streaming. Streaming is the one. And above all are the batch data ingestions. So we have two kind of ingestions, batch data and streaming. I hope you got this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so catalog is a way from you get all of these things. Now let's talk about the data flows. I am telling you any existing data flow. Suppose any file upload data flow. Let's see if we can have a local. Okay. Otherwise, I need to. No, we don't have much. So whenever you create your whole structure of your data, like you have selected your data, then you have selected your mapping, scheduling, and save it and done. After that, from where you can get it the visualizations of the data. So here is the data flow. Whatever you are going to create, that will gives a one row every details about your things and shows enabled, and success means that is your data has been transferred from source to your AP successfully. So this is how you can see every information in the data flows, right? Now the accounts, I'll showcase the accounts as well. So accounts basically those things which are connected to your connectors, right? So suppose here the HTTP sources are available. Let's see if any other is available. All are HTTP. I think people are working on streaming as well. Okay. Suppose if somebody is connected to database or CRM or any Adobe, so you will be able to see the sources here, their names and their usernames, their data flows and everything. So these are the accounts, right? So you can have a visualization. So these blocks, these all blocks gives you the visuals, like what you have done it in your catalog. Okay. Keys and encryption keys, this is majorly the people whose data is very encrypted and all, very security full data. So there you need to just have create your keys and you can just pass it to this. No major usage. People are generally working on data flows and accounts. System view, your views, like whatever you have done it, you can just view over here, right? So it's these are the catalogs, local files, HTTP, Adobe data collection, your Adobe launch, and these are the profiles. Like these profiles has been created by connecting these three, and we have passed this data to Facebook, Google Ads, Google Match, HTTP, LinkedIn, Adobe Target Line, TikTok, Twitter. So this is kind of a view. Nothing is just like any feature. It is just a visual of all over your system till now. Okay. Let's see if we can see any of the flow. Let me, but again, we don't have the filter. We have to search it by manual. It is not there much data. Okay, so I'll create the data for you because that is the only way I can give you the full understanding of the flow. So I'll try to create the easiest data format, at least a 2-3 records data, right? And we'll see on that. We'll start destination from tomorrow. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one more question, like
Mm-hmm.
directly coming to CDP, uh, like what is the percentage of things that are required from the technical side and as well as from the implementation side in AP?
Only SQL. That's it.
Only SQL, that's it. Okay.
Yes. You
All
no need to
the
JavaScript, HTML, CSS, whatever your logical you have done it, coding, nothing. Basic SQL is required.
okay.
Other
Okay.
things if you're already working on having experience, so
Hmm.
then other things you are easily understand what is happening because you working on UI is much easier than working in a coding. Like from the coding background, I have seen like I am also from the coding background. When I
Mhm.
worked on these tools, it's much easier to work on them. It's just like you need to aware of the business perspective, what they want and how to you want to capture those things.
Okay. Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
Okay.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just trying to tie the knots, everything here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the implementation of AP would be happen on this site. The data
Mm-hmm.
will come through the AP to CDP,
Mm-hmm.
and then
AP,
the
CDP is the AEP.
okay, CDP is
CDP
the
is a
AP.
concept. CDP, real time CDP is a concept. And in that concept, AEP does everything for you.
Okay, okay. Now it's more clear for me now. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shiv, any question from your end at your
Yeah,
perspective?
so basically we will connect all the data sources to this
Mm-hmm.
AAP, and from there we
Mm-hmm.
will get one complete database. Yes, that's what it is. Yes.
Yes, yes. You need to store your data. There is a here the terminology is not tables. Here the
Okay.
terminology is data
Schema.
sets.
Okay, data
No,
sets. Yeah.
schema is a structure. Uh,
Okay, schema is a structure, but the
when you
data
do
sets
a
is basically.
SQL query, okay, I remember this. When you do a SQL query, like a description of table, this DECS
Yes,
description
yes,
of table, you get a structure, right?
yes,
That
yes,
rows and columns, headings, and everything, right?
yes, yes.
Here, that structure is a schema. You need to
Okay,
create your attributes, name, and everything. That is a structure. And when
okay,
you do select star from the table will come with all of the data, right? Information. Here, that table is a data sets.
okay.
Data sets has all here. We also do the select star from data set name. Here also the thing is same, right?
All
So
right,
this is
got
how
it,
it
got it,
is.
got it, got it.
Mhm. Okay. So yeah, wrap up. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.